Something is about to make sense in your life, and even if you can't see it clearly yet, you can probably feel it. That quiet shift, that subtle feeling that things are changing, that something is coming together behind the scenes. It's not loud, it's not obvious, but it's there. And it's leading you towards a moment of clarity that will change the way you see everything you've been through. Because soon you're going to understand why it all happened. Right now, you might still be carrying questions about the things that didn't work out, the plans that fell apart, the relationships that ended, and the opportunities that never came through. You might have spent time trying to make sense of it all, replaying situations in your mind, wondering what you could have done differently, or why things had to unfold the way they did. And for a while, none of it made sense. It just felt like loss, confusion, or even unfairness. It felt like you were putting in effort without getting results, like you were moving forward only to be pushed back again, like every time you got close to something, it slipped away, and that kind of experience can make you question everything. Your direction, your decisions, and even yourself. But what if none of it was random? What if every delay, every redirection, and every ending was quietly guiding you somewhere you couldn't yet see? Because the truth is, clarity rarely comes in the moment. When you're in the middle of something falling apart, it doesn't feel like alignment. It feels like disruption. It feels like things are going wrong, not falling into place, and that's why it's so difficult to trust the process when you're in it. But perspective changes everything. Think about moments in your past that once felt confusing or painful but now make sense, situations that didn't work out, but later you realized they couldn't have worked out, not in the way you needed them to. People who left your life, only for you to later understand that their absence created space for something better. At the time, you couldn't see it, but now you can. And the same thing is happening right now, even if you don't fully realize it yet. The pieces are moving, the lessons are settling, and the connections are forming in ways that will eventually become clear to you. You're in the middle of a bigger picture. There are things you had to outgrow, even if you didn't want to let them go. There were paths you had to walk down, even if they didn't lead where you expected. And there were moments that had to break you open, not to leave you there, but to expand your perspective and prepare you for something different. Something more aligned. Because sometimes what feels like things falling apart is actually things falling into place, just not in the way you imagined. And that's the part that requires trust, because you don't always get to see the outcome while you're still in the process. You only get to feel the uncertainty. But that uncertainty is temporary. There will come a moment, and it might arrive quietly, or it might hit you all at once, where everything starts to click, where you look back and realize that what you thought was rejection was actually protection, that what felt like delay was actually preparation, and that what seemed like an ending was really a redirection. And in that moment, something shifts inside you. Not just understanding, but peace. Because it's one thing to go through difficult experiences, but it's another thing to finally understand their purpose. That understanding allows you to let go of the frustration, the resistance, and the need to control everything, because you realize that there was a reason behind what you couldn't see at the time. And that realization changes the way you move forward. You stop forcing things that don't feel right. You stop chasing things that aren't aligned. And you start trusting yourself and your path on a deeper level. Because now you know that even when things don't make sense in the moment, they can still be leading somewhere meaningful. That kind of trust is powerful. It allows you to stay grounded, even when things feel uncertain. It allows you to move forward without needing constant reassurance, because you've experienced what it feels like for things to come together in ways you couldn't have predicted. And once you've felt that, you don't approach life the same way again. You become more patient, more aware, more aligned, and most importantly, more open to the idea that everything happening in your life is part of something bigger than what you can currently see. So if you're in a place right now where things still feel unclear, where you're still holding on to questions or trying to understand why certain things happened the way they did, hold on a little longer, because clarity is coming. The understanding you've been searching for is forming. And soon, you're going to see why it all happened, not just in a way that makes sense logically, but in a way that feels right emotionally. In a way that brings you peace. And when that moment comes, you'll realize that nothing was wasted, nothing was random, and nothing was working against you. It was all working for you. If this resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on something in your life that didn't make sense at the time but eventually revealed its purpose, because that reflection can remind you that clarity always arrives, even if it takes time. And if you want more content like this, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay connected, because sometimes the answers you're looking for are closer than you think. You just need the right perspective to see them.